Over the past 7 years, I've worked with UNHCR and I've traveled around the world to try to bring attention to refugees and internally displaced persons. On my last trip to Chad, I asked a group of refugees, what do they need? What are their concerns? And this young boy raised his hand and he said, we need a trial. He was asking for what any of us would ask for, having been violated, having had many horrific things happen to his family. And yet in my heart I knew that he may never see that trial. That justice often seems like a luxury for the rich and wealthy nations. But I do know this. No mother who had her children killed in front of her, no young girl sold into slavery, no boy kidnapped and forced to be a child soldier, and no young girl like the 3-year-old I met in Sierra Leone who had her limbs cut off should be expected to simply forget. No one should have to choose between peace or justice. And that young boy in Darfur who asked for a trial deserves one.
It's important to note that you have a peacekeeping force already there. Most of them were formerly the African Union troops, some 9,000. Most of them haven't been paid since September. They're waiting for their pay, they're waiting for their 17,000 extra troops, they're waiting for equipment. There are some groups that are protecting 250 square kilometers of desert with no helicopters, no radios that work. These are your troops now. Men and women risking their lives for peace, your responsibility. So either give them the basic tools for protecting the population and themselves, or have the decency to just bring them all home. Because you can't do it halfway. Bring them home and shut off your TV and your radio and your phones and the internet. And go back into the offices and wait until it's all over.
I'm Mia Farrow. I'm an actor. I'm a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. I'm also a witness. I've been to Darfur. Its borders with Eastern Chad and Central African Republic 6 times since 2004. And my response to this is that I must do my utmost to put an end to it. And I'm still in the process of discovering what my utmost is. And I think it is incumbent upon all of us to find out what our utmost is in this moment, confronting a genocide. We must get our government to appoint a full-time envoy, to be working full-time toward a peace process with Darfur. Personally, I'm for, who isn't, UN peacekeeping force to come to Darfur. There's some debate about consent. I don't care about the consent of the government of Sudan. I've just come back 6 days ago from Eastern Chad, and Darfuri refugees are begging for the UN peacekeeping force. They said, why don't they ask us? You know, we're the ones whose villages have been burned. We're the ones who are being raped. We're the ones who have lost everything. Why don't they ask us? We're asking for a UN peacekeeping force. So I think that's the powerful voice to hear, personally. And also, let's not forget our aid workers who are there putting their own lives on the line every single day. They're not safe either, so sustain them even as they sustain lives.
Over the past year, I've had the opportunity to travel through 5 countries in South Asia, and I've met many children who are suffering. Children who are living on the streets of some of the world's largest cities. I've met children sold as bonded laborers, working 12 to 16 hours a day in the carpet industry. These children have no vote, no voice, and no political clout. Many of them are subjected to some of the most inhumane forms of exploitation. My friends and I have started an organization called Free the Children, a youth group mainly made up of young people between 10 and 16 years of age. And the purpose of our group is not only to free children from exploitation and abuse, but also to free children from the idea that they are powerless and that they have no role to play in today's society.